to this to be recorded. Okay, so I like to do a lot of live drawing because I like to draw the peoples on the location. It needs to be quick and it needs to capture that moment quickly. So when I like to attend the live drawing classes, live figure drawing classes to practice, so I can capture the people in emotion as quick as possible. These are some of my 3 to 10, 15-minute drawing. But you can see today's session, I want us to learn how to build the images. Can you see there's a lot of line that is actually built it. There's a lighter color that I use it as a foundation. And then I use, and I don't erase it. I just draw on the top of it. So we can build the image a little bit more clearly. So those are one of the 3-minute drawings. Okay, not this one. Let me just go to the side. And you can even see with the second one as well, you can see I use lighter marker on the green here, and then I refine the shape by using a darker color. We're not going to do like instant figure drawing, but what we will do is that we're working on a colored paper like pink or lighter yellow. And then how I'm going to show is that I'm going to build on the lighter color. When you look at this portraiture, this is a 7.5-minute drawing. I first build the images by looking at using the lighter color, which is a yellow. So I draw the shape and line, and then I refined it with the mid-tone color, something more like a little bit darker than the yellow. So I pick any color that is darker than the yellow, and then I refine the shape, and then I add a little bit more contrast by adding the darker color. And you can add highlight afterward or coloring the outside to make a little bit more, have a visual contrast to it. This is a little bit more shorter. You can see it's unfinished, but that's perfectly fine. Today's session, I want you guys to learn to build over your mistakes and build some confidence. I mean, trust in your process. You can see even this one, I think it was I don't know if it was 3 minutes or 4 minutes. But I build on the lighter colors and then I add a little bit of mid-tone colors and then I just add this darker colors to build up the shape. So it's not gonna, I mean, you do need to have some, but today's session is not about draw nicely. It's all about building the confidence, I think. Because we tend to over rely on pencils and erasers. And because we can able to erase it, we just building the image it takes for us too long to build an images. So let me share some, let me go back to sharing the screen. Just stop share. And then I will also upload reference images on the chat for you guys. So if you want to use it, please do practice it on your own time. Just share the images quickly. So we will do very short drawing. Like maybe I'm hoping to do 7.5 minutes for each. So we don't have to spend too long. That's fine. So let's start looking at stuff like, but this is more like my thought process. I will look into this lady's reference pictures. This is how I will do it if I have to draw on the papers. Like here. Ooh, this should be easier if I just roll the back. I'm a left-handed, left hand. So I will first see how the eyes work. And it's this. So first, pick up the lighter color, something like this that is very light. You don't have to use same pen like I do. You can use color pencils or the pen, as long as it's something that you can't erase it. But I will first it's easier for me to draw the eyes shapes and the eyebrows to starting point. And then I will build up the images. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just need to know where I'm going to place the nose and where I'm going to place the mouth. Building the fundamental, and it's always easier to build expressions when you're focusing with the 3 fundamental elements like eyebrows, eyes, and mouth. That will already give you a lot of visual cue about how the person's expression actually works. And based on that, I will also just build up the facial shape. And then, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because I know I'm going to draw over it with a darker line. I will not even put too much detail because this needs to be short. I'm gonna practice in a more, like a practice way. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I build a basic shape visible. Once I got that, the basic shape sorted, I will pick up some sort of mid-tone color like lighter pink, and then I will now reshape it. Now, when I look at this example here, I can see that this is quite, I draw my eyes too big. Just ignore this mistake and just draw on the top of it. Maybe I must choose a little bit more darker than this. And right. This is the perks of having too many pens. Can't make up my mind. This is to me the midtones. So then I will make the eyes a little bit smaller and looking upward, where the eyes going looking up. And then I will also make this, I need to lift up the nose a bit. I see that I put it way too much down. And then I'll also do this. Every single time when I'm changing the color, I need to redraw the line that is a little bit more accurate. You can see here that needs to be a little bit more lift up on the mouse. When I look at the sections, I realize I need to reposition my mouse here. I like this how the yellow is actually see-through underneath. It really helped me where I can reposition the mouse, where I can reposition the face angle. And darkness. And yes, it needs to be a little bit more. It's okay, you don't have to get it perfect, but we want to just learn to build over this lighter line. And it doesn't, we don't have to draw exactly same, but I just want us to be more comfortable with making a mistakes. And if you really this bother you, the beauty things about drawing over this line is that you can actually cover it with a darker color. I mean, and it's create quite interesting contrast to it. Okay, and then so I sort of got the basic similar shape. Then I will just pick up a little bit more darker colors to give contrast. Maybe I'll pick a brown. And I'll add the pupils. Because I do have graphic design as a background, so my approach is quite bold and graphic look. So that's something that I'm more familiar with. So just keep that in mind. I'll only find that where the darkest area is, where the darkness needs to be emphasized. There needs to be contrast between light and dark in order to everything work. And then we can see, we can build up the images. This eyebrows has a little bit more arch. More darker. And if I want to add more textures to it, I can also pick up some, like a crayons or water crayon or pencil that has a similar tones to it. I forgot my pink. That's fine. I'll just use something similar, and then I can lift up some area that I want to emphasize, but I don't want to use the bold line. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah. I do tend to draw eyes quite big because I used to do a lot of fan art, like, watching a lot of animes and cartoons and stuff. So this is fine. I'm warming up, so this is just the way how I would tackle the portraitures in a short period of time. And I don't keep all the detail. I'm quite happy with things as it is. Maybe this hair needs to have a little bit of detail afterwards. but it should, I do wish it little bit it must looks like it's looking up a little bit more, but that's fine. We are practicing and I like drawing quick, so I'm gonna leave it as it. So hopefully this give you guys some idea where we can approach and how we can build up from the lighter color, the line, and then we can actually continue in building the images to more refined shape as we adding the line that has a darker colors. Okay, so let's do some more example. Let me just check time. Okay, so I will this time working in this it actually quite looks very orange yellow here, but it's actually quite warm pastels yellow
Naples yellow.
yeah, Naples yellow. That's something I can't do anything about. It's just how it is. So once again, I'm gonna look into this facial expression down here. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna build up. I'm gonna create the ghost images by using the lighter yellow. I don't know if you guys were able to see this yellow here. I don't think that's that visible. Do you have a color that maybe I can borrow?
What one is you looking for new color?
Do you have a lighter orange color? Because I can see on the screen this is very yellow.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just use the pink. I will start pink as a lighter color. And this is fine. Thank you. When I look at this lady's face, you can see I must draw a little bit big this time. So what I also like to approach, I can also build a silhouette first. That's what I like actually doing. I like finding the big shape. So I'm starting as this big shape and then I build up the image as I go. And remember, this is just my my ghost image that I'm gonna build on the top of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because I want to draw just quick. It's gonna be more like quick study for me. Then let's see how her eyebrows arch. And there's her eyes. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, nothing more daunting than drawing open mouths.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate drawing daunting mouths, so I will normally simplify it. But at least I know where her mouth is going to be, where her nose is going to be. When I look at it now, I see maybe it needs to be a little bit more lift up and tilted. Then I'll just pick up the darker color and then I'll just build over it. It's perfectly fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. We just need to build over these images. And this pen is drying.
Working too hard.
Yeah, well, I need to stock up some material. That is what I need to do. Use this darker color. And the eyebrow needs to be a little bit more, eye needs to be a little bit more left up. Perfectly fine to build over it. And I realized nose is actually way far down. Sometimes I don't, it never turns, sometimes it doesn't turn out the way I want it to be, but that's also fine.
I'll still practice.
Yeah. It's all about overcoming that what you're uncomfortable about. Because we're trying to, everyone wants to draw obviously pretty, but we can only draw pretty learn to build over that mistake that we created. So that's what I want you guys to get comfortable today's sessions. I mean, you can see even here, there's a lot of ghost image overlapping, which is a bit like, yike. Hey, but trust your process, always.
Very well.
Oh, I realize it's way too big, too much space, then you just build over it again. And the beauty things about this, something like this, I can actually make it darker by choosing the darker color to cover it up. Remember, this is the practice, so we don't have to make it perfect. Like I will choose the darker color here and then just cover these sections up. So we can actually reduce the size of the heads. The darker. Yeah. I like to use this a lot. That's why it's all about the little by little.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm. And it's perfectly fine. Like, just forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, learn to forgive yourself with the mistakes. So I will just, yeah, because that's why I think a lot of people procrastinate. Yeah, even me, I guess. So I'm just adding darker color here to make sure it has more prominent features. Like here, this section, I would actually use my colored pencils to darken up a bit because it can be quite too contrasty. I realize mouse is a bit too weird, but that's fine. Part of learning. And it's not easy to draw open mouse, guys.
Yeah.
So it's fine if it doesn't turn out the way you want it. Forgive yourself. I would like to use maybe some, like when it's come to crest on your face, I like to use like crayons or color pencil to lighten up. Because if you're using darker pens here, it's gonna make the person look very old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the truth. That's
Yeah.
what I did.
But pen is a great way to improve on your images, I think. I mean, learn to build over the mistakes. I can see I don't like this example, but that's fine. I can always draw what I like, the way I like it. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it miss, like pearl. But don't give up. Finish it, even if it's not perfect, and keep them a contrast. When we can learn from it afterward, we can reflect on it and see like, oh, maybe I could have done this better. Because it's just a practice. We're not going to use this to exhibit it or anything, just to improve on our skills of drawing and things. Can touch on more like little detail, but I don't want to overdraw it the same thing again. So I'm going to end it as it is here. It's fine. If you want to add a little bit of blush, I would, if I have that crayon, the little bit pinkish crayon, I could have just add something like this. But this one, not as successful as I wish to be, but that is all part of the learning. Yeah. And I will stick to my pink color that I like. Where is my, oh, there is it. I draw over my reference images, but that's fine. Let's do this gentleman here. I will build over with, do I have enough time? Okay, one more, and then I will give it to, pass it to Sonia. I will once again look into the silhouette of this person. Like here, I can see there's a silhouette coming through, so I will try to copy the silhouette. Once again, I'm starting with the lighter color because if you start, the beauty of working on a lighter color, it will actually help you to guide where you can improve it. Yeah. You got a quite nice chin. It's nice to draw. And oh no, I cover some sections, but that's fine. We will just give a little bit more contrast with a darker color later. But when it's come to is light drawing class is really fun. I don't know if you guys like to go to the light drawing class.
Oh, it's fast.
Yeah,
It's just very fast.
it's very fast. That's what I like about like it forces you
Yeah.
to draw quick. Think about how you can draw it.
And you have to focus.
And it helps you to see stuff that you didn't realize.
Yeah, that's good.
I can see his eyes is looking up, so I made a little bit looks like that. Smart. Less, are we getting there?
And remember your drawings are standalone. You're not gonna paste the actual reference next to it.
Mm,
So it stands on its own
yeah, trying
at
to
the end.
yeah. So trying to capture that person's expression. Expression is a great visual cues to help you understand what their personality or what they're trying to communicate. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's why I like using the colors to like somehow make up some story that doesn't exist. Why not?
Yeah.
I will sometimes, especially when there's some certain section of face, I would like to use crayons to not to make the line too heavy. But you can see I can building over this the lighter shape and lighter line. Oh.
Fascinating, actually.
Mm.
You see how you build up the image and then find the lines.
And I need to restock my tool, guys. A lot of them are actually dried up for whatever reason.
Other pastime is to buy supplies, so that's also nice.
And we can make certain section of hair darker as well. But I'm gonna keep information minimal. Because remember, this is the fast drawing. Sometimes I like it turn out very well, but sometimes it just simply doesn't. But that's fine. It's part of the process. Sometimes people really underestimate their process.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it's the most important thing, I think, now this day, especially with this AI art.
Yeah. That's invading our space.
Yeah, everything is automated now. So only thing we as an artist, I think, is we must emphasize in our process of how we do things. And I'll also make it a little bit more cute, Heidi. Can actually make a darker colors to give more contrast as well. Should I give brown color? Or should I try the purple? Oh, too many options. Now I will choose the darker color.
That's a topic on its own.
Yeah, too many options. But I would like to talk about, I would like us to think about like how we want to do our art and how we come to make a peace with this art. A lot of people are there's a lot of internal conflict happens. A lot of self-doubt there.
Self-discovery.
Yeah, a lot of doubts on yourself, but it's part of the journey. Make it darker in a certain section. Oh, this pen is quite light.
I'll definitely need a trip to an art shop.
You see, I'm like mixing medias down there. I realized this pupil supposed to be on the wrong side, but that's fine. Yeah, I am studying and I want to capture a different way of things. If you really want to give contrast, I will make the background darker.
Oh, that's looking really good. No.
I can see the problem here already. There was too much space here when you look at it, but that's fine. Next, maybe I'll do another drawing similar like that, but his eyes get a little bit more closer.
Yeah.
But this is a short drawing, So short drawings give you that like extra characters and personality to that as well. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty much on my side. So yeah.
I'll definitely go and practice that.
No, but do some forgive yourself for making the line mistakes and stuff. I think that is the main focus that I want to emphasize in today's session. So thank you everyone for joining. Now I'm gonna post it down to Sonia.
So,
Let me just mute myself quickly. Just give us a few minutes. I'm gonna put my sound down. Need to put you as a main
Spotlight.
spotlight.
All right.
No. Spotlight.
There we are. Right. I don't know how to make it just the one.
I'm going to move myself as a spotlight. Just give me a sec.
All right.
Me again. Move spotlight. And then I will. Thank you. Okay, and let me add your reference pictures as well for people.
All right. I'm going to start with a lamp. I've actually just changed my mind while we were drawing, and I thought I can just as well learn from your process. So I'm going to actually, I want to say copy and paste what you've done and just use what I've just learned. I'm quite happy to try it out. And I mean, this is the first time for me too. So I'm definitely going to start with a lighter color as well as Sodam are doing. And I've printed it outside size so that it's easy for me to work with. And let me just take this one away, yeah? And I normally work at a slight angle, but I'm going to try and do it flat today. So I'm going to start at the top of that lamp there, and I'm going to do a contour drawing, and quite a fast kind of contour drawing. And while I'm doing that, I'm looking at that angle.
And any of you guys just let me know if can you hear Sonia's sound? Let me just check if everyone can hear Sonia's sound. Anyone
Yes, we
just
can.
open the check, please.
We can
Right.
hear her.
Okay, thank you.
Can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Perfect. I don't know about you guys, but we are enjoying ourselves. We almost, like last week, the previous time that we did this, we were on such a high. It was such fun. So it's really nice. So you can see I'm doing what Sodam just did. So I'm doing like a ghost image, or I almost want to say I'm building up history for this drawing by doing this simple sketch. Because remember, I'm also not in the space in my mind. I need to get myself to focus properly. And by doing this, it actually helps. I can see I've made a few mistakes there, but as Sodam said, some of those mistakes are so nice that you actually want to embrace them. So I don't mind if it's not perfect. I really don't mind. Sometimes these imperfect drawings are nice and fresh, and you actually get a lot more out of them than the perfect drawings. Okay, perfect drawings are something different. So this is not what we're aiming for. We're aiming for quantity so that you can also build up confidence, as you said. I think that is quite important. So I've got that. So now I'm going back with my micron pen. Actually, I think I would like to use my water-soluble pen with this. So let me just get my water-soluble pen. And why I use this is because I don't need much more than that. I don't even need my watercolor if I have a water-soluble pen. Now, people always ask me, how do I know it's water-soluble? I do this, and I wet it, and you can see it flows. All right, so that's how you know it's water-soluble. And a lot of pens are actually water-soluble. It will not say it on the pen itself. All right, so now I'm going back. into this. And now I'm actually going to look a little bit more closely. And as you know, I like to keep my hand there because then I know that I'll keep my focus where it should be on the drawing and on my reference. So I'm looking at the drawing as well as the photo, going back and forth, looking at the shape. And sometimes when the detail is too much, it's sort of you ignore some of the detail and just go for the biggest, almost want to say the things that makes the biggest difference. Right. And also it's my first drawing of the day, so see how nice I am with myself, and you should be too. Be kind to yourself when you're drawing. All right, I think that's quite important. It's one of the things that we've both learned, that you actually enjoy your drawings more if you're not so critical on yourself all the time. Oh my gosh, look how bad this looks. Or we don't do that. We say, oh my gosh, this is maybe not what it should have looked like, but you know what? I do like it. I've learned this and this and this. And yes, my lines are wonky, and they'll probably get better as I go along. Oh, and where I want it a little bit darker, I actually go over the lines a little bit more. Let me just do that. I'm interrupting myself now, but I think that's fine. I just want to do some dark bits here. And okay, let me not distract myself. Let me just go back here first. And it's got that wobbly bit there. So remember, when you're on location and you're drawing, you don't have a lot of time and you have a lot of distractions. And it can actually paralyze you that you can't get yourself to draw because it's just too much info and you keep on thinking, oh my gosh, I can't do this. This is way too difficult for me. Then just do a simple part. I mean, I remember when I went to Franschhoek and everything was like so beautiful. I couldn't draw anything. So I went to a coffee shop and I had coffee. I mean, what else? So I've then learned that, you know, I could have just focused. Now I see I did exactly the opposite of what this line should be there. Okay, I'm just correcting it there. So you can choose one little part of something that interests you, and also just take the first one that sort of grabs your attention, I almost want to say, and go with that. There's no such thing as a perfect setting. Sometimes those two perfect settings are very difficult to actually make into a good drawing. Okay, and just gonna put some of this in here, and put some of that in there. And then I'm coming with you can either do your water brush or your normal watercolor brush, and then just drop in some of the water. I really like it. See, I'm again very kind to myself. I can add a bit of color into it. I can't help myself because I see there's some nice colors in here that I actually want to put in as well. Maybe a bit more to the orange side. Just get my things in here. I forgot to spritz my watercolor, so it's a little bit on the dry side, but I make do. So yes, and you can see the yellow of the underneath highlighter is also contributing to the look in the end. This one I want a little bit lighter. You can just dab that one out. I think I'm not going to criticize that one. I'm just going to leave it and then go on to the next one. All right. So again, it's about drawing more. It's getting yourself to draw more. So often people will say, but what do I draw? And my answer is always anything. So anything that will make you feel like you're practicing. So this morning I had to choose between all of these. And I am wondering, the one that I actually chose was this one, eh? Yeah, I chose this one. Just show it to Sodam so that she can drop it into the chat. All right. So with this one, I'm actually going to a bit more better paper. So this is just my Potentate little drawing book. And I have done some practices before. There you can see in this one, I've done a practice in a bright pink pen. And I have practiced some buildings in here. There's some of the buildings that I've practiced in here. So it's actually nice to just print yourself some nice buildings and things if you want to practice it, and then just give it a good go.
Question, was Sonja's highlighter for the lantern sketch water fast? Only the pen was water soluble.
It is water fast and it didn't mix with the rest. So yeah, so it didn't mix with the rest. Okay, so let me go on to this one. And I'm going to put it in my on my left side so I can do the right side. And I'm going to do a quick analysis of this drawing this photo. So when I look at the photo, the first thing I'm looking at is how am I going to approach it? Am I going to do contour drawing? And I think for this one, I almost feel like I don't want to do the contour drawing. Maybe because of my experience of the one next door that I did here. But I also want to try and see if I just start with watercolor, how will it go? So what I see here is that I've got very nice straight blocks. So it's a one point perspective almost, if that makes sense. So it's a straight on view of a coffee shop. And there's a few elements in here that I really like, and I can decide how much detail I want to give to this. So I'm going to start with a light bluey, light bluey green. There's a bit of noise in the background. And for a change, it's not me making the noise. So I'm just going to start right out with some watercolor. And I'm going to draw my drawing with a watercolor. And again, if the proportions and things are not perfect, I'm going to make pieces with it very quickly. And I'm also just going to see, I'm going to do it like side size, more or less. So I'm just going to transfer what I see here, more or less, onto this. To focus a little bit. And just do some more blue. And I'm working quite light so that I can work on top of it. Now this one goes about there. And this part here is about up to there. So I'm not concerned about watercolor principles or anything like that. I'm just going with the flow. And really, I haven't practiced this before, so I'm not even sure what it will look like. So I'm in the same boat as you. I need to make peace with it. If it doesn't work out, then I also have to make peace with it. I'm just trying to see what the angle of that is and how far it is, because often I get that. But I just warm up that color a bit with the yellow and put in that back bit. That one is not nice and clean. And I'm actually not working with my favorite brush. Let me switch my brush to my favorite brush.
What is your favorite brush?
This one is, I think, a Raphael, and it's a round brush, a round mop, but it is a lovely brush. It's like having a best friend. It's just so nice. It's really nice. Yeah. So I'm going to mix those two a little bit, and I'm just putting in that color there. So I've put in that block over there, and it goes out there. Then it's got this very nice terracotta pot. Yeah, that's also more to the orange side. And the brighter colors I put in the front here because it also makes it go, it brings it forward. So I'm actually going to put it on here. And then it's got this shape over here. It's got that shape over there. And it's got that shape over there. And then it's got some orange flowers. More orangey flowers over there. Okay, I think that is already a lot better. And then I'm going to have a it's like a greenish gray. Yeah. As soon as I get bogged down with too much detail, I just sort of go for it. Yeah. If my mind feels, oh my gosh, this is too much detail, then I say, okay, let's just go for it. Let's just do it. As Nike says, just do it. Yeah, just do it. Right? So that's my drawing. Now I can see the paper is really not really good with watercolor, but do I care? No. So I'm going to take my permanent pen now and I'm going to put in some of the details. Now, the nice bit of this is you'll see it's quite a fine line, and I'm explaining this to you so that this can get a little bit more dry, because it will not take on it if it's not dry enough, it will not take. So this is a 0.1. So it's quite a fine line. So it forces me to work delicately, which is very nice. I'm also going to start with just putting out, I'm using my pinky as a guide, yeah. Just putting in some outlines here already. And my motto is start wonky so that the rest doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And even if there's just one line, I do a multiple of lines there, because I think it gives you that idea of the depth of the window and things that are in there. Okay, and you can see it's quite fine. So if the watercolor is still very wet, you'll find that it will bleed a little bit. And this is just extra information. It doesn't have to be that, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. Just doing some writing there, a whole menu. All right, and then I'm going to start with, I'll start with the easy parts, as you can see. Okay, this is just plant material that's going in here, and this leaves is a bit bigger. So I'm putting that in there. And I almost want to say I plan as I go. So it's really teaching yourself to work on the go, really on the go. And we are way too bothered about doing things perfectly.
No, and it's Friday.
Yes, exactly. It's Friday. One shouldn't work perfectly on Fridays. I mean, we all know that. I think that's the direction of the lines, and it goes that way. And you can see, even if the brown doesn't match up with where it should go, I still put in the lines as I then decide it needs to go. And this line is going there. And the better my concentration is, the better the drawing will be. But I must say, talking and drawing don't always mix. Okay? So yes, we are. That is an explicit explanation, not an excuse. An explanation, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm just going to put in that. And the idea with these drawings, and I think Sodam will agree with me, that they should be like under half an hour. These kind of drawings, because otherwise you overwork it. If you add, the more media you add, obviously the longer it will take. But 10 minutes, 15 minutes is sort of, I think, ideal to do. So that you cannot get bogged down with too many details, because yeah, it's overworked and it loses its freshness. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And I always talk positively to myself. I'm just going to do the front end. And as I said, I'm doing the easy parts. There's a lot of lines going here, here. I don't know whether it's a coffee maker or a milk frother or whatever. I'm just doing what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that shape there, so I'm putting it in. And in the end, you will know, oh my gosh, this is a busy coffee shop. So
Something's there.
yeah, and especially when you sit in that coffee shop, it is so nice. Because then you sort of, when you look back at those pictures, you actually remember the ambience of the place and who you were there with. And I always write down what I've had and who I was with, and it's like the memories just come back. And it's so different to doing photographs of the place. It's just very different.
Very personal.
It's very personal, and it's yeah, it's just you much more in the moment. And I really do enjoy it. So the back of the coffee shop, I don't want to give it too much detail as I'm putting in more detail. I'm saying that. But what I'll probably do is to emphasize the parts that I do like. Okay, I want to put in some of those chairs. Can't really see because there's not much detail there. But I'm putting in the lines as I see them. And somehow your left brain connects those things and say, oh my gosh, I see what that is. That must be all the chairs and things that are standing there. And I can always fill this in later with a bit of color crayon as well. Whatever you have at, whatever you have with you that day. Okay, then there's these lights. And obviously I didn't leave the white spots for the lights, so I can actually put it in with my gel pen afterwards. I'm just going to put in that sort of ceiling line there. I think that line may be quite important. There. And then this is quite dark. Hmm.
No, no.
I want to go visit this coffee shop. I haven't been to this one.
Where is it?
Probably overseas somewhere.
Ah, I was
Because
excited.
you were excited. I want to go. So there are some very quirky places here in Cape Town, and obviously we are very blessed to have them. These little places. They are just so beautiful. I mean, so Sodam was in the waterkant yesterday, and I mean, even there's so many beautiful little places.
There's this Vietnamese restaurant down there. They got
Oh,
these
surprise.
beautiful lanterns on the ceiling.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, you see.
So beautiful.
And just to come back to, well, while I'm now drawing urban things, is I've just started going to their meetings, the Urban Sketches meetings. It is such a good idea to actually join people that are drawing on a regular basis. And the nice thing about all the urban sketches, they're so inviting in the sense of they include you very quickly, and they share knowledge, and not all of them are full-time artists. A lot of them are just hobby artists, and they come with, and it's just such a nice space. So I can not recommend it too strongly. It is such a nice space to be in. See, by putting in these little brighter colors here, it already makes for it comes to the front, which I like. And I'm just going to add some more green to this one over here. I don't know how we're doing for time. 7 minutes left. All right, and then I can actually add some of my color crayons. Let me just see what. Okay, there's a gray kind of color. I just want to put in some shadow in here so that it can go to the back. And while I'm doing this, I'm not even sure whether it's going to work or not. So that's the thing, is you actually have to get it out and try. There's no way that anybody can teach you what will work with everything. So you actually just have to do it. There's no easy way. There's no easier way than to just actually do it. I'm just putting in some of the shadows. And the one thing that I did learn from Sodam is to actually mix your media. It is so nice. I mean, we all love buying buying stuff as it is. So this is a very good excuse to do it. I'm just going to put in some shadow there. Just make it a little bit darker. But I can work into this. This is a little bit brighter. And you can layer. I can't stress it enough. Layer your things. And the better your paper is, the more you can layer. Let me see. I wonder if I can make this brighter. I'll see if I can make, yes, I can. Now, I see previously I wouldn't even try to brighten the color, but now that Sodam is sitting next to me, I'm quite capable. She makes using what brighter colors acceptable. Yeah. I don't know whether it was the right choice or not, but it's done. And I can actually, I just want to sort of I think I'm going to leave it like that until it's dry. And what I normally do is I write down the date, which is now the 11th of April. And it was a demo. And then I write everything down. I say it's a Zoom meeting. Because it's very nice when you page through your book to see what you've done. And then Sodam and I. And we really love doing this. And actually, our only thing is we actually want you to draw more. Now,
I
my
enjoy it.
it is nice. It is nice. I see my default is to overwork. I can see that.
So, that was well, I am also done. Thank you, teacher.
What's our time? It's almost done. Okay. I think that's fine. I can even make this brighter if I wanted to. You can see I can't stop. It's almost like you need someone to say, stop. You've done enough. Before you get you harm your drawing more than you should. Yeah. Anyway.
Feel free to share your drawings on the chat or
Yeah, you're welcome to share and on the chat group as well. And yeah, other people are also welcome to join if people are interested in joining. We'll definitely do this in a more regular. We're trying to do this in a more regular basis so that we can get more people to draw. Definitely. All right.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we will do this again very soon. I don't know, Sodam, is there anything that you would like to add?
No, I just also drop in the Urban Sketcher Cape Town Instagram account. So if you guys are
Yes.
interested, please check out.
Yeah.
Eleanor is organizing the sketch meetup this week, Sunday.
Yeah, and where are you going?
The Wild Feet
Where the Wild Fig.
is right next to by South African astronology or
Yeah.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Observatory.
Yeah, it's right next to there. But
It's
it
like
is,
right next to it.
yeah, but it has a beautiful that Dutch old style building. And it
Yes.
said make it into a
Yes.
restaurant. It's beautiful tree there. And
Yeah. And remember, you don't always have to do the whole scene. I mean, you don't have to do the whole scene. You can just do a vignette or a little bit of, something that catches your attention. If it's just your coffee cup with your
Yeah.
cappuccino, that's also fine.
That's also fun.
I always tell Sodam that she's only allowed to eat when she's drawn her things, but she's always too hungry. But anyway, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we'll post this on the YouTube channel. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Jenny said, beautiful Sonia, buy a donkey.
From the Asian.
Appreciate the tips about using brighter color and cool things for water. Lovely.
Yes, it will help.
I really enjoyed it too.
Thank you. Yours looks better than mine.
No.
Good for you. I'm a good teacher then.
Good teacher.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.